I'm on my knees, calling you, faithful God. I know you hear me, Prince of Peace. I'm calling you, mighty God. I know you love me, 'cause when I am so low, you pick me up, you pick me up. And when I lose control, you pick me up, you pick me up. Back on the track, I call you my redeemer. I call you my, I call you my everything. I call you my, I call you my, I call you my everything. Kila kitu baba, ewe baba yangu, naja kwa unyenyekevu mbele yako baba. Kimbilio langu, bila wewe sina nguvu, nikuhurumie, unisaidie, 'cause when I am so low, oh, you pick me up. And when I lose control, you pick me up. You're back on track. I call you mine. I call you mine. I call you mine. My everything. I call you my provider. Hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good night. I'm Jumbo. Hello, hello, everybody. I see you coming, all of you. Thank you so much for joining my story English version. My name is Grace Wambui Ngere. All are my names. Wambui Ngere wa my story. Wambui Ngere wa my story. Wambui wa my story. Anyway, thank you so much. Regina Njogu, Tony Igenge Chira, Francis Njenga, Susan Ngugi, Kathleen Kinga Maathai, Larry Hillary, Jen Mungai, Brian Braxton, and Karanja. Come on in and stay right there. Jen is saying, I'm here, I'm tuned. Kathy, hey, Kathy. Susan Ngugi, hi. Hi, Karuchi Wanjiro, Joanne Wanjiko, hello. Joanne Wanjiko Moragoli, hi. Sound echo? Poa? All right, okay. Good evening, Kenyan. Good morning, USA. Lily Matenge, hi, Lily. Esther Gay, Kathleen Kinga Matai saying hello. Ngima Alice. Hello, Esther Guy. All of you, can you come in and stay right there? Remember to share, tag, and invite. All right, this is Wahoo. Wahoo is singing My Everything, My Everything. Let's listen to her, My Everything. Hey, kila kitu baba. I'm on my knees. Oh, calling you. Faithful God. I know you hear me. Oh, Prince of Faith. Oh, yeah. Mighty God. You love me. Oh, I'm so low. Yeah. You pick me up. Does he pick you up? You pick me up. Oh, back on track. I call you my everything. My everything. Baba. I am good. Oh, Bele yako Baba. You pick me up when I'm solo. You pick me up, Lord. You pick me up. You pick me back. Back on track. I call you my. I call you my everything. My everything. And I'm so low. Oh, faithful God, you pick me up. Oh, yeah. You bring me back. Back on track. I call you my everything. My everything. I call you I call you my everything. I call you I call you my everything. When I am so low, you pick me up. Yes, you do. And when I lose control, you bring me back. Oh, yes, Lord, you are my everything. When I am low, you pick me up. When I'm down, you bring me back. That is Wahoo. Wahoo is a Kenyan storyteller or story songwriter and singer. And that song is inspired by a true story. How many have the same or such kind of a story? That when you feel you have been down, that when you feel you are low, he is the only one who comes and picks you up and takes you back to your place, And that song comes at a very good time because the topic today is who moved it. You wonder what? Yeah, you just stay there, stay tuned. You will know who moved eight. All right, let's shout out to Lily Madenge. Hapa niko si bandukie. Tuned in, Lily Madenge, great follower of MyStory. Habanduki meaning she's not going anywhere. Miriam Maina Wanjiko, Joanne Wanjiko is calling you. Miriam Juguna, Mauricio, the Shea Jordan. Tabiwa Duncan, Alan Peter, Kerry Prestige, Tony Genge Chira, Guy, is this for? No, it is for all of us, not ladies, men, women, children, everybody. Wachiko Garden, Rachel Juguna, Anne Fred, Boy Child about to come, Gary Wainaina, Ellis, Shiku Ellis, Alicia Nyawodi, Zach Njehu, Wanjiko, Kia Mukawa. You all stay right there and tuned. Today's topic, who moved it? Who moved it? Oftentimes, we find ourselves in a situation where we feel like life is not fair. How many times have you felt life is not fair? How many times have you felt like something that belongs to you have been taken away unfairly? And then you sit right there and blame everything and everybody and whatever you can think of that they took whatever you knew and believed was yours. How many times? oftentimes I find myself doing the same thing. I feel like this thing belongs to me, this person belongs to me, this job belongs to me, all these blessings belong to me. And when they're taken away, I feel like, who moved it? You know, remember the story of Adam and Eve. Instead of Eve owning to her mistakes, she said, "This man," or I mean, instead of Adam owning up, he said, "This woman that you gave me." So we oftentimes find ourselves blaming things, blaming people for things that are not happening to us. All right, my story here is destined, or is brought here to come and remind us of life lessons, self-care, things that can make us come back on track, remind us who took whatever took it, who moved whatever I thought belonged to me. So my story is a show that brings stories of individuals who have passed through things, who have passed through life stories, life lessons, life experiences, whereby things did not turn out how they wanted them to, but then later they came out all right. You know, they were able to come out of whatever they were going through. It is also a place where we bring awareness of suicide. So we try to prevent suicide, we try to bring awareness, we try to bring awareness about mental health, because most of the time, suicide is brought about by mental health. Not all the time, not all the time. Statistically, actually the bigger number is about life experiences, life stories, sometimes bring us to that place where we feel like we don't want to continue moving on in life. And therefore today, I read a book for the second time, a book that is very inspirational, and I want to share a little bit of nuggets that I stole from that writer, and I want to share with you, my viewer, because you know I love you so much, and every time I see a little thing that I think will help you in your self-care journey, I have to bring it to you. Okay, I need to put this across. No apology, no apology. I did not come on Wednesday, and my visitors, the youth, we've been doing Diaspora Youth Summer 2019. We were not able to do that today. It is just not really apology, but saying thank you for waiting on me. Thank you for waiting on me. Now, we're gonna continue and we'll talk about who moved it. And you stay right there so you know what is that. What is that? Who moved what? What is she talking about? Okay? You stay right there and you will know what I'm talking about. I'm just watching and listening. All the time we keep on pointing each other. Yeah, we keep on blaming. I'm down just watching. Okay, you just watch and stay right there and continue to welcome people. Thank you so much, everyone. Come on all. Thank you so much. Zach and Jeho and Jiko Kamukawa Lucy Iforo. Thank you all for coming and joining us. Team Wambui MyStory. I see all of you. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, let's see, who are we going to listen to as we wait for the next, not for the next. I lost track there. I'm sorry. All right. Before we jump into this topic, you know, I just love this book, and I'll show you this book because it's a very interesting book. But let's listen to David Ikene, because at the end of the day, we want a better tomorrow. Remember something I read last night, that always remember, whatever you're going through today, today will not be here tomorrow. And what's our hope here on MyStory? Our hope is what? A better tomorrow. All right, listen. My tomorrow must be greater than today. For real. No matter if somebody moved A, you wait and listen. What is that A? My tomorrow must be greater than today. No matter what I face, no matter what I see, no matter what comes my way, oh, no matter how I cry, one thing I know, it's definitely in my heart. Tomorrow, it has to be greater than today. My tomorrow, oh yes. Greater than today. Not tomorrow. Oh yes, joy comes in the morning. Weeping only comes for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Thank you so much. I see you're still coming in, you who have not joined us yet. And I do welcome you with open arms and telling you today we are talking about something that was moved, that belonged to you. Who moved it? Do you want to know what it is? Stay tuned, invite, share, and tag. And remember, we do have a YouTube channel, Wambui MyStory. Go right there and subscribe and be sharing it on WhatsApp and everywhere if you want to let your enemy, your friends, everybody to be encouraged every day. MyStory is a place where we get hope and healing, a place of encouragement. Today we are talking about who moved it. Who moved it? It's derived from a book, a very beautiful book, a very informative book, a life lesson book. And as we take care of ourselves, as we take care of our bodies, health-wise, no matter what it is that we are focusing on, we need to remember tomorrow must be better than today. Whatever you're going on, whatever is going on in your life today will not be here tomorrow. And so stay tuned. I do see Jane Caris has joined us, and I say welcome. Wanji Kombote, Nyambura Poli, Shara Lavet, Caroline Muigai, Lucy Mduta, Miriam Favorite Shiro. They're all coming in. My tomorrow must be greater than today. That is what Jane Caris is echoing. Who moved it? Yes, and a lot of question marks. You better stay right there, Jane. You better stay right there. Tomorrow must be greater. Lucinda is saying that. Hi, Lucinda. One thing I know, and I know that I know. Yeah. Good, Miriam. All right. Koiwa Kimura, Maria Mohaki, Tabs. Okay, you've been called by Lucy Nduta. Lacey, Gracie, hi Lacey. Lacey, I always appreciate that you come into my shows. Thank you so much, me. God bless you. Monica Wambogo, Amen is the Lucy saying. Jeff Sim, Jeff Simic. Luisa Akaiso. Hi, Miss Luisa. Thank you for joining us today. All right, today we're talking about who moved it, and you better stay right there so we know what are we talking about when we say who moved it. But remember one thing, whatever is going on in your life today will not be here tomorrow. You have to anticipate tomorrow to be a better today. The reason for my story, hope and healing for tomorrow. This is Ikene, David Ikene, continuing with the song Greater Tomorrow. Tomorrow. Oh. All right. Fading away there is David Ikene with a beautiful, beautiful song, encouraging song called Tomorrow. Tomorrow. Thank you, Akinyi Aboge, for joining us. Okay. This is the time that we've been waiting. We say today we are talking about who moved it. Who moved what, you might wonder. All right. Who moved it is a topic that I came up with after I read Facebook. Who moved my cheese? By the show of hands or just by clicking on some emojis there. Can you show me if you have ever read this book? Just a show of hand, something just to say you can hear me and that you have read this book. This book is written by Dr. Spencer Johnson, and it's a very, very informative book for you who you want to prosper in life, prosper in business, prosper in everything, and more so, be happy. Be happy with whatever comes your way. You know, as I started when I started the program today. I said, oftentimes we find ourselves wondering why this happened to me. Why did this happen to me? Why did the most person that I loved on this earth die? Why did the job that I loved most, why was I fired? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? How many times have you found yourself wondering why? Why? How many times have you found yourself saying it's not fair? How many times have you found yourself blaming somebody for taking away what you believed to be yours? Dr. Spencer is talking about who moved it. The 8 is cheese. And the cheese can be your life expectations that you had or you're already enjoying, and then all of a sudden they disappear, or they're not there anymore, or they're not as how you were expecting them. That's the cheese. And I'm going to read a little bit of something here that says, who moved my cheese? Who moved my cheese? Or this book, what it is about. I'll read for you here. That this book, first of all, is written for all ages. It is a story that it is unique. It gives you insights that last a lifetime. Believe me, I read this book the first time, I think I was maybe in high school, or maybe I had just finished high school. Yeah. And now I just read it again, and I said I have to come share with MyStory fans. So Who Moved My Cheese is a simple parable that reveals profound truths. It is an amusing and enlightening story of 4 characters who live in a maze and look for cheese to nourish them and make them happy. Now, cheese here is a metaphor for what you want to have in life. It could be a good job, it could be a loving relationship, money or possession, health or spiritual peace of mind. It could be all those things. So when I talk about who moved it, the 8 could be your life expectations, your relationship, your work, your school, everything that is based on life, and things that make us happy or unhappy whatsoever. So in this story, it's a very little story talking about 4 people who were enjoying the cheese, or who were enjoying their life. And every day they would come, before they started enjoying their life, or before they started enjoying their cheese. Of course, they had to look for cheese, right? You go to work every day. You do whatever you do every day. That means you're working hard for whatever you're working hard for, right? I don't want to just put one thing, but I can also say, let's say it's a job. Let's say it is a job, okay? So you go to school, you get your degree, you get a good job, and you start working, and all of a sudden things start happening. And although you're not noticing, you have good pay, you even at the end of the day get a husband or a wife and children, and just life is going so well. And now here, mind you, we are 4 of us, okay? We are 4 of us going through this life, all these things happening to us. And then one time, all of us, for some reason, it is a metaphor here, it's a parable. All of us, at one particular time, this thing that we are enjoying called life, a job, a home, everything good, is not good anymore. There is a big change. And at the end of the day, this is what we're talking about today. Change. How well do you take your change? I would appreciate if you put some comments there, so it can be an interactive show whereby I see what you're thinking. And Monica Wamboko, Jeff Simik, Louise Kinyi, and Jerry Nganga, Esther Muchai, Tony Murray, and Job Maura Amo. I'm welcoming all of you. So I'm asking if you can put comments there. If you have read this book, raise your hand up, put love emojis, put like emojis, put laughing emojis, put crying emojis, whatever you can, just so I can know you have read this book and I know we're together. And then we can be an interactive program where you can tell me, what do you think? Jane Caris is saying, who moved it? Who ruined my life? Who moved my car? My house, my food, etc., etc. Who moved me to where I am today? Moving means took somebody to where does not belong to, or where I am supposed to be. To remove, to drive. Good. That's Jane Caris. Thank you so much, Jane, for interacting. That is what I want. This is not just me talking, it is all of us talking, right? So Jane Caris is saying, who moved it could mean who ruined my life, right? Who moved my car? Who moved my house? Who moved my food? Who moved me to where I am? See? Blame, 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 blame. It has to be somebody who did all these things to you. Jane Caris is saying moving meaning took something or somebody to where they do not belong to or where they're supposed to, right? So now let's continue with the story. So the story is talking about 4 people. They are calling them Ho, Hem, Scurry, and Sniff. Scurry and Sniff they are 2 mouses, okay? There are 2 mouses. And remember, this is a parable, okay? This is a parable. So there are 2 mouses, Sniff and Scurry. And then there is Ho, H-A-W, and Hem, H-E-M. And those 2 people, they are little people, are depicted in the story. And then the 2 mouses, okay? So now, they look for their cheese, they find their cheese, they start enjoying their cheese, and everything is all good, nothing to worry about. Now, Sniff, just like his name says, he does sniff. You know, he sniffs. And so he starts realizing the cheese is getting little by little, day by day. Okay, so he's aware something is happening. It is not how they started, it is not all good, okay? Now, Hem and Ho, they're just enjoying life with their legs on top of the table, taking a sip, taking their cup and sipping whatever they sip. And just enjoying life, right? No changes, nothing is coming their way. They are content, they're happy. All right, one day, all of a sudden, although it wasn't sudden, because remember Sniff had started to realize the cheese was running out. So the cheese was all gone, and guess what they did? They were friends, Sniff and Scurry. So they realized the cheese has gone, and so what else? And remember, they were in a maze. Where they found this cheese is a maze. So what they do, they scurry off. And off they go, in the maze, up the maze, down the maze, you know, looking for more cheese. When their cheese was gone, they did not sit down there and cry and say, oh my God, why did this happen? Who did this to me? They just moved, they scurried off and started looking for more cheese. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. You guys know what a maze is? A maze is, let's say this is a maze. So they'll be going this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. You know, it's not a straight line, just as it is in real life. Guess what happened to Mr. Hem and Mr. Ho? They come, and every day they come, they get their cheese, they eat to their food, and then go home to their families. Life is good, no care in the world. Now, this day they come, and guess what? All cheese is gone. What do? We're going to take a break. Just right down there. Tell me, what do you think they did? What do you think Hem and Ho did? Change is the only permanent thing in life. That is Mr. Job Maura. Thank you so much. Chico Fabian has joined us. Not all changes in life are bad. Most changes help us grow. Good. Good, 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 good. Now, before we jump to all that, which is really good comments, tell me, what do you think, Marion Kamamo, thank you for joining us. What do you think happened when Ho and Hem came and found their cheese had gone? And meanwhile, we're going to listen to who? Let's see. We're going to listen to this praise from African Praise.
I will praise the Lord. I will praise Him every day. I will praise the Lord. I will praise Him every day. I will praise the Lord. I will praise Him every day. I will praise the Lord. Bello, 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 see what the Lord can do. Bello, 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 see what the Lord can do. Bello, 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 bello. Oh, bello, 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 see what the Lord can do. Oh, my day of joy, my day of joy. This is my day of joy, my day of joy, my day of joy. My day of joy, my day of joy, my day of joy. This is my day of joy, my day of joy, my day of joy. Come and see. Papa, I thank you. You are too much. Come and see. Come and see. Come and see what the Lord has done. 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 Higher, oh higher, oh higher, oh higher, oh higher, 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 higher. The final say, Jehovah has the final say. Ooh, has the final say. Jehovah has the final say. Around, touch my life around. Oh, there's no way, there's no way
Jehovah, 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 you are the most high. You are the most high God. You are the most high. You are the most high God. 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 You are the most high. I hope you stood up and danced a little bit to that, right? I hope so. Shiko Fabian, did you jump and turn around and put your hands up? Yes, yes, yes. That's a little break we had right there. Margaret Ndongo, Washuka wa Boro, Samuel Mboro, Nyambura Mboro, Wairimo Kimani, Mary Abby is still joining us, and we do appreciate who moved it. Now, for the people who are coming in, we're talking about who moved it, and we found out that who moved it is the cheese. We are talking about this book called Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. Okay, and it is a story about 4 people. Spencer is the writer. It is about 4 people or 4 characters. We have a Ho, H-A-W. We have Hem, H-E-M. We have Scurry, and we have Sniff. Sniff and Scurry are little mouse, and Ho and Hem are little people. They are all characters that represent us. At the end of this story, which I don't think we're going to finish today because I want us to talk more in detail about this book because it's really, really interesting. And if you can, maybe look for it. It's a very, very inspirational book. It has a lot of insights about change. At the end, or when all is said and done, we're talking about change. Who moved it? Who moved it? The cheese. The cheese is what? It could be your life. It is your life. It could be your job, your relationship, your school, whatever it is in life that you enjoy and makes you happy. That could be your cheese. Now, the maze where they find the cheese, it is where you go to find your cheese. So if it is a job, maybe it's where you go to work, your organization. Or maybe you're a singer, that's where your job is. Maybe you're an actor, that is where your cheese is. Maybe you're in school, that is where your cheese is. Wherever you find your happiness, whatever you find, whatever you do, that is your cheese. Now, what happened with these 4 guys? They enjoyed their cheese when they found it, and then one day the cheese was gone. So if it is a person that you love, maybe they died. If it is that job that you had, a very good job, maybe there were changes and maybe the job was not there anymore, or you had to move from one state to another, or, which is the biggest case with a lot of us, we had to move to another country for better pastures, for greener pastures. But then we found out that it wasn't what we thought it was going to be. So there was a big change. Now, I asked before we went for the break, we did see that Scurry and Sniff, when there was a change, they went and looked for more cheese or another cheese or new cheese. What do you think Ho and Hem did? What do you think Ho and Hem did? All right. Patrick Adum, thank you for coming in, and Faith Mugore, thank you for coming in, and you're saying you're present. Now, I'll tell you what they did so that we can save time, okay? what Ham and Ho did, when their cheese was moved, they did not want to move. They just stayed there. Every single day, they would come and think that the cheese would be put back by whoever moved their cheese. You know, the blame game. Who moved my cheese? So every day they would come back to the organization or maze, and the writer calls that maze Station C, Cheese Station C, where they found their first cheese. So every day they would go home, and then the following morning they would come and stay in Station C. Remember, there's no cheese in Station C, but they're thinking maybe the cheese will come back, and they continue doing this and this every single day. Meanwhile, Scurry and Sniff, the mouse, had ran away and went scurrying and looking for new cheese because they could not just stay there. And so we found out the mazes, like, you know, like fingers like this, intertwined, and they are going back and forth looking. But to make this story short, finally they did find cheese. Scurry and Sniff found cheese in Cheese Station N, and they started enjoying it. Now, Mr. Ho and Mr. Ham, they stayed there, and guess what happened? It happened to us. It happens to us. They got frustrated. They got mad. They got angry. They complained, it is not fair. Why did they move my cheese? This is the cheese I wanted. I don't want change. This is what I have had for years and years. I've been here for 10 years, for 15 years. How can you move me? How can you tell me to go look for cheese somewhere else? I cannot. I will stay here. But Mr. Ho one day decided, I will not stay here. I have to go look. I don't think this cheese is coming here anytime soon. Me, I better go. So he started asking his friend, Ham, please, let's go. Let's keep moving. This cheese is not coming here anytime soon. And we're going to starve to death if we keep waiting. He kept pestering his friend, but Mr. Ham never, ever, by the end of the story, we don't know for sure if he ever moved, but he just stayed there where his old cheese was. How many of us do that? Do you do that? I find myself, I've done that a couple of times. You know what I'm used to, my comfort zone, I don't want to move. I don't want to move. And I keep thinking, it is so unfair this person did this to me, you know? How could they do this to me? How could they move my cheese that I was so used to, my cheese that I worked for? I put all my energy here. You know? So anyway, Ho finally decided to move and go look for more cheese. And he looked and he went in the maze and he got hungry and he got lost because it's a maze, and it was not easy. It was not easy. But at the end of the day, he was able to go and find a Station N where there was plenty of cheese. I'm cutting the story short. And I want to summarize with some things that Ho wrote on his way to Station N. As he was moving, he was learning lessons along the way about change. And that is what I want you, my friend, my viewer, to take home today from this topic, who moved it. If somebody has moved your cheese, you think somebody has moved your cheese, but literally not really. It's just life. It is just change in life. We have to accept change. And as Job said up here, if I can find his comment, he said, change is the only permanent thing in life. And not all changes in life are bad. Most changes help us grow. Do you believe that? I do believe that. It might be very hard to do that. Alice Minor, thank you for joining us. But change is the only permanent thing. Then that's like ironical. How can it be permanent if it's a change? Because you know your cheese might be moved today, go find another cheese, and then that cheese get moved again, but that's change. That is growth. That is growth. So as Ho was walking or going along the maze looking for his another cheese, or the new cheese, let's call it the new cheese, he found these things happening. And he wrote them. Number one, change happens. They keep moving the cheese. So that is the number one reason. When you come home, when you go to your workplace, when something terrible, terrible happens to you, when a big, big change happens to you, remember, change happens. It's not that it's not destined. It is not by mistake, but cheese gets moved. You gotta have to agree on that. You gotta have to think like that. You know, it's not gonna all be the same over and over again. There is change, and it can happen unexpectedly. It can happen when you least expect it. And for you to avoid stress, for you to avoid depression, for you to avoid thinking, I don't want to even live in this world anymore, just put it in your mind. Let it be one of your self-care tips. Anticipate change. Change happens, they keep moving the cheese. Number 2, that's what I just said, anticipate change, because change happens. So if it happens, you gotta know it happened and be ready for it, right? Be ready for it. If these lights go off right now, I need to be ready that, oh, the power can be cut off or something happens. Am I gonna stop the show? No, we're gonna do it in darkness because you can still hear my voice, right? What an example. I don't know why that one came in my head, but anticipate change. Get ready for the cheese to move. Get ready for the cheese to move and do something alternate, you know. Andrew Morales and Francis Mburu, thank you for joining us. Number 3, monitor change. Remember when we started the story, we said Sniff was sniffing. He was sniffing for the change. He was sniffing. He could feel. He started realizing the cheese was running out. So you better have eyes open, ears open, or ears ready to hear when change is happening. Learn to see when things are not the way they have always been. You gotta have an open mind to see, you know. That's not being paranoid. Sometimes you might think that's being paranoid. I mean, that's just me thinking. You know, when you think, oh, this thing might change, oh, this thing might change, oh, this, no. It is good just to anticipate change so that you can be able to handle it. So monitor change. Smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old. Okay. Number 4, adapt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy the new cheese. So Mr. Ho, as we saw, he finally did enjoy the cheese, but he had stayed at station C, where the first cheese was, for a long time. Even despite the fact that he found the new cheese in station N, and he started enjoying it, he took a long time getting there. Why do you have to suffer all this time if you could anticipate change and keep moving as soon as the change comes? At one part of the story that we'll not get today, some people were discussing the book, and somebody said maybe we should be the ones moving the cheese, right? When you see things are not going the way they're supposed to be, when your business is not going as it was supposed to be, maybe it was very good at the beginning, and then in the middle of it, you don't know what's going on, you have no customers, and no profit is coming in. Maybe it's time to think, oh, this is not usual. Maybe I should take this cheese and move it to somewhere else, right? That is adapting to change quickly. And then number 5, change. Move with the cheese. So you found your cheese have been moved, move with it. Move with it. Don't just go there and say, oh my, woe unto me, poor me, Wambui. What am I gonna do? They moved my cheese. What am I gonna do? I worked for this cheese for so long. I toiled. There's a lot of sweat in this cheese. Get up and change. Just get up, move with the cheese. Go start enjoying the new cheese as soon as you can. Don't just sit there and say, woe unto me, poor me, poor me, poor me. Number 6, enjoy the change. Enjoy the change. Savor the adventure and enjoy the taste of the new cheese. At one time, the writer was saying, sometimes changes comes because of the mistakes we do. Sometimes we don't move with the cheese, or when the cheese gets moved, because we cannot take our mistakes. But at one time, the writer was saying, just laugh at your mistakes. Learn to laugh at your mistakes and to see how funny it was, even though it was a mistake, and then learn from it and then keep moving. Enjoy the adventure. Enjoy the adventure of looking for the new cheese and even where you came from. So enjoy the change. And number 7, be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again and again. They keep moving the cheese. It's not gonna stop. And change is the only permanent thing. So it is permanent. It's gonna be happening. It's gonna be happening now and then, every day. So move with the change. Move with the cheese. Move with the cheese. So who moved it? Who moved your cheese? This book, very interesting. Go look for it and read. So that next time, if we talk about it, I kind of touched a lot of the stuff in it. It's just a 1-hour read, but it has full of insights, and it has helped me personally in my personal journey. And I would like to know what you think of the book. You can inbox me, or however you can reach to me, and let me know what you think of the book, if you ever read it, or even out of today's summary. Because changes will happen. Changes will not stop happening, but you have to be ready for them. You have to be ready for them. And when you're ready or anticipate changes, you'll be able to handle it. You'll be able to enjoy even the journey, the process of the change. And then you'll avoid things like stress and depression. And you'll always be hopeful for a better tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll have to call it a day today because it's 3 minutes to the top of the hour. And I do appreciate you being here with me and supporting my story every single time that you always come to support me. And the only thing I can say is just God bless you. God bless you mightily. And we'll meet on Wednesday. And remember to enjoy life's little joys. And more, remember to anticipate change and move with the cheese. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Aye, 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 ale, 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 He is taking away my sorrow now. I am praise.